on your like I sent you the link, then can you
Sure,
just
sure.
check that?
Where is
लाइव इन 2 मिनट्स दिखा रहा है.
oh, videos?
No, I have one viewer, so I think it's live.
One, one
Yeah.
minute now.
Like I sent you the link, then can you
Sure,
just
sure.
check that?
Okay.
You live, right?
Yep.
This is pretty much weird, right? Like,
लाइव इन 2 मिनट्स दिखा रहा है.
Why it's lagging? I think. Oh,
yeah,
videos.
it lags
Yeah,
30
it's
seconds.
lagging. Okay. One
Okay,
minute.
so you all said like we're on the same page now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So hi guys, welcome to the session two where we actually define the product. We have two new on the panel, Mugendra Manikar and Nihar Patel. Can you please introduce yourself? Let's go with Mugendra first.
Hi guys, I'm Rugendra Madhavikar. I'm currently studying engineering management at Northeast University. I'm Anand's classmate in one of the course, and I'm going to start a co-op soon in Wayfair as analytical product manager.
Hello,
Uh,
guys.
uh, can you explain, Mugendra, how is the transition from undergrad to a product management
Yeah,
person? Yeah.
sure. Right. So undergrad, I studied electrical engineering, and I worked as a project engineer in manufacturing company for 1.5 years. After that, I realized that after working projects, I need to want to go to management field. So I wanted to pursue engineering management to get into management field of engineering. So after coming to US, I learned what is product management. I talked to a couple of PMs from Facebook, Google, while LinkedIn. I attended some events in college. I just can talk to few person regarding this. What is product management? So I built interest in product management. So I started reading books and online courses of how to become product manager and do what is that. So I was looking for the same companies for as the intern or co-op from this year. So I applied to a lot of companies which are giving product management roles. So I prepared the interviews. I've read the book How to Crack PM Interviews. It's one of the best books for PM. So I prepared that and read case studies online, and hence gave interviews and could talk about PM and about my products and projects what I had done till now. So which helped me to get this co-op.
Okay. Oh, that's quite good. Can we move on to Nihar?
Hi, my name is Neha. As he introduced, I am currently working full time. I was also pursuing engineering management back in 2017 to 2019, and then so I started initially as a supply chain um, analytics, pursuing supply chain management and all of that, and then on the side I was doing a couple of things related to product. I did take a course in product management, and that's when I realized I wanted to do something in that. Um, but I participated in a startup competition at Northeastern, where you kind of ideate your product and want to pitch it in front of investors. And while doing that, that's when I, it was much more solid for me that I wanted to do this. Uh, the way I secured so I did my co-op at Akamai Technologies as a program management analyst, and then from there on, I am currently working as a product analyst at Groupon. Uh, on a daily, so in order to get the job and get the internship, well, getting the internship was pretty easier for me, I would say. But getting full time is much more difficult. And as Rugender said, like one of the books that helped me was cracking the product management interview. I mean, even if you don't want to get into product management as such, just the questions and practicing the questions might help you in any field you want to go
Yeah.
to. So it really helped me, and that's when and then, well,
And you
I,
landed to a Groupon, right? Can you explain like how is the normal day at Groupon and what's the position is as business analyst?
so it's product analyst.
Okay, product analyst.
Uh, the 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 main role of a product analyst is to understand if any feature that we launch. Um, so first is, uh, well, how do you understand what feature you want to launch, right? So in order to understand that, you do all kinds of analysis. Like you have previous data, you might have customer data, all of that, right? And then you look at that data and you present it in front of product managers and say that, okay, these are the problems that customers might be facing, right? And then based off of that, product manager says, okay, these are the new features I want to implement, right? So you start you help with the data analysis at the start of the product as well, like before the new features are implemented. And second is, once the feature is implemented, it's also the role of a product manager, product analyst, to keep in keep in check whether or not that feature is actually being used by the customer, right? So it's like, you launch the feature, right? Initially it was like, yeah, they wanted it, but it might happen that you are losing revenue because you launched that feature, right? Sometimes,
Yeah.
so you need to keep track of that. And that is also a role of product manager, product analyst, sorry. And the way you do that is, well, you should know a little bit of statistics, especially like A/B testing. Or I did not know it personally, but it is really helpful, like if you understand like basics of A/B testing. I took a very elementary course at Northeastern as well, which was like one credit course, but it was really helpful for that. It was predictive analytics for managers. So in that, they kind of go over initial, what is R square, how to understand if there is correlation, and whether, and just basics of A/B testing and all of that. So it's not that difficult. And if once you get that, so then once you understand that, you have both the aspects of a product analyst that you will need. Right? And also I do a bit of, well, I also do a lot of, on the technical side, I do a lot of SQL and Tableau, because you need to present the data in front of the product managers. So those are the tools that we normally use.
Okay. I'm just, can you walk us through the process of like how you exactly roll out a feature, like how you exactly come or decide to a feature of a product, and then exactly how is it rolled out to the product like that?
Um, so I'm so I'm not a product manager. I'm not the one who decides what features to implement. But product so at Groupon, the way it works is that we have a market research team as well, right?
Okay.
So market research team is the one who normally interviews with customers. They kind of so Groupon is a two-sided product, right? One is the merchant, and
Merchant.
something like Amazon as well. Like Amazon has lots of small businesses who want to put their product on Amazon.com, and then Amazon also has us, like people like us who want to buy from
Buy the
Amazon. Right?
products, yeah.
Two-sided product. So there's always a market research team in most of the companies, and they kind of go to merge to the small businesses. They also go to the customers like us, and they want to research like what are the problems you're facing. That's why they keep on asking you different kind of surveys, right? When you do that, they also keep track of all the customer service problems, right? So Amazon, I know, keeps track of all kinds of customer problems. Like whenever you ask for a refund, what is the reason? They
Yeah.
do ask you that, right? They don't. So those are some of the areas where you collect data of what the customers want. Another, and sometimes, and the third would be like, within the company itself, you have problems that you want to address, right? For example, I have, let's say I have my customer service team, right? And there is a software that they're using, right? So um so the software that they might be using is not that helpful, right? Or the way we have designed the product might not be helpful. Like for example, in Akamai, they're like, you know if like, even in Groupon, like, a sales team has a product, right, through which they are onboarding small businesses, right? So that product itself might need some help. So internal teams as well, you decide like, this team needs this product, you need to implement that, you need to change that feature. uh, and once you have those key features that you want, you go to the design team. So then, well, once the market research has collected all of that data, then kind of PM comes to us and might want some more data. It depends. Like sometimes they might not even want any more data, but if they do, we help with that. And then they kind of go to the design phase. And there is hierarchy within the organization as well. Like you need permission from the senior product manager, etc., etc. But then they go to the design team, they finalize the design. At the same time, while that design is being finalized and while we are trying to launch it in the market, it's my job to make sure that we have all the tests ready, because and everything that you need in order to do the test is ready. So in order to do a A/B test, you need to have certain sample size, right? And you need to make sure that how do you calculate that sample size. And normally you have a data science
Yeah.
team, design team, they finalize, who might help you with that. But as a product analyst, it's your job to make sure that when the new features are implemented, you have like a way of collecting the data in order to monitor or in order to do the A/B test. So yeah, and then voila, like once it is launched, you start monitoring it. Uh, even while even after you've launched it, you want to do like initial smoke test. So smoke test is like so in order to reach stat sig results, that statistically significant results, whether or not your features are actually working. But what you don't want is you don't want your features to be losing in revenue. So you do a smoke test initially and things like that. But that's it. Yeah.
Uh, I think that was way too much name at present. Whether you have any questions for him?
No, he explained very well how a
Yeah,
product like designed or what new features they put. Like suppose if a product fails and doesn't meet your expectations, the feature, then what do you do? What steps do you
yeah, or
to correct
maybe
it?
like how exactly you come up to a place where you decide that this is what something a consumer wants, or this is actually a product that we're looking to go into production, or like pursue this as a year or two. How do you decide that?
Um, so like you never know whether a product is going to work or not, right?
Okay,
You have to take a bit of risk, right? But after you, after once the what you do have is that after the feature is launched, you what we do is we just implement it on a small population. You don't go and roll it out across United States, right?
okay,
Because if you do that, that is the real problem. At any point, if not everyone wants it, then so what you do is you take a small population and you launch it for that population and then see if it is working or not. If not, then you drop it away and start working on some other feature.
okay. But okay, cool. Sounds good. So how can you explain more on product definition? Like how do you like set the boundaries of your product? Like okay, this is the thing we're solving it, or this is our MVP, and this is how we want to move it forward.
Um, so I think I haven't worked in that
Okay,
area, right? But the way based on what I've seen so far, um, uh, so that normally happens between the product manager and the design team. Like product analyst has no part of it,
okay,
but the design they continuously iterate between. The product manager and the design team continuously iterates and figures out what is it that you want. And also while you're iterating and doing, the market research team helps the design team to make sure that customers actually want that design and they are familiar with that design. It's easier for them to play around with that design. So it's a three-way process between the product manager, the market research team, and the design team. You
okay. Ravindra, you want to add something, or you want to like say something?
I'm okay. I mean, he has explained it well. Yeah. So another thing, a question I had was that, like, which parameters do you measure? Like, what are some metrics to like think that means whether the consumer has liked it or not? And how do you set the sample size? Like, what parameters do you take while selecting the sample size when you roll out some feature?
So it depends what kind of feature you're implementing, but most of the time, right? Most of the time you're implementing a feature for people like us. So let's say Amazon is implementing a buy now or add cart button or something special, right? What you do is, let's say you normally have an internal engine that sorts the customers that come on your website. So let's say 500 of the customers would be able to see the buy now feature and the 500 won't be able to see, right? And that is normally, so the ones who would be able to see buy now feature is a treatment, and the ones who won't is the control, right? And we have to determine like at what point we are going to stop the test, because it costs us money,
Money,
right? It costs us money in terms of we might lose revenue, we might not make
customer, or something.
yeah, because we maybe the new feature is not something they want, right? So you determine the sample size, and there is very simple formula for that. um, Basically what you need is you collect the data uh, of how many out of the people who came on your website, how many of them purchased or went through buying a product, right? Based on the previous data that you have, right? And let's say that number is zero point 0.5 or something, right? That means 50% of people who landed on your website bought a product, right? So once you have that, the way the variance is basic. Once you have the mean, you get the variance based off of that. right? And once you have the variance, the sample size, there is a very elegant formula for that. It's a very simple formula. It's like 15.7 time. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it's 15.7 times, I guess, variance divided by mean plus
Uh,
Okay,
lift.
I get it. Yeah.
yeah, that's too
But
much.
but that,
Okay,
this
that's too
is
technical.
elegant to find. Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so moving forward, just wait a minute, we have some technical glitch.
So since how long are you working here in this Groupon?
So I've been working for 6 months, but like I was lucky enough to get to work on different kinds of project, and so I got like got to work on different areas like testing as well as modeling and that. So
Okay,
that's
so let's moving on for the session. So in this session, we would be taking it forward from the last session, like where we narrowed down our products as a collapsible food container and a self-chilling can, right? So we would be determining like what exactly we use this product for, right? Though it's quite clear by the name, but can we implement the usage in other things like a collapsible food container, or can we make it a reusable too, or something like that? So let's talk about it. So we go forward with collapsible food containers. You have any suggestions?
can you like explain in short what
Okay,
that
so the
product?
collapsible food container, the idea originated by because of the milk collapsible milk gallons. So the problem was whenever I go out for shopping, like grocery shopping, either I remember that I have milk, but I have a gallon of milk in my fridge, but I don't know uh, like is it full, is it half full, or is it like at the barely at minimum. So I end up either buying one extra if I have full, or either I like end up not buying it. So on the very next day I don't have that. So maybe it's a visual, what do you call as sign that the milk is half full or maybe very less for the tomorrow serving. So that is where we came up with collapsible food containers, and also it occupies very less space into the fridge. Firstly, secondly, the self-filling can is whenever you are out in a house party or you have go for a beach party, uh, the problem is everything is cooled, everything is chilled as a drink for first or second round, and after that your ice melts, your refrigerator is not cooling that easily, so you end up getting very room temperature like cans or drinks. So maybe something for which I don't need to pre-plan my party, and I just pop it open and it gets chilled. So that's where we finalized of self-chilling cans.
Okay. Uh, do you have like something you've worked on before? Can you show that? Maybe share your screen if possible.
Uh, I didn't work on anything before, like it's just the last week. I'll just see if we can share. Okay, so can you see the screen?
Yes. Product usage table is there.
Yeah, so this is how we ideated last time. Okay, uh, these were the products, these were the problems we talked about, and there after that we narrowed down to two products: collapsible food containers and self-filling cans.
Okay.
Okay,
Hmm.
so now we're moving on to product usage, like where exactly or what exactly do you want a collapsible food container to do? Like, do we want it limited to a milk gallon, or do we want to actually store the leftovers from the pool, from the like
Okay.
dinner?
Yes.
So,
Right. Nia, you can go
collapsible.
first.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right. So I was thinking that, see, this collapsible food containers can be used for any liquid, like be it water or milk or any drinks, which will help us to know like how much we have left. So we can have like multiple sizes for food containers, like this thing. Like for liquid, we can have like bottle, and for food, we can have like something big as a like container where it will just, I mean, show how much food is left or how much like chapatis or parathas are left.
So quick question: collapsible food container is something that shrinks in size. And
I think yeah, something like that. But something if you shrink, yeah, basically collapsible, it has to shrink, right?
Yeah, it
Or
shrinks. But like, do we really have that kind of like plastic or material available like will shrink
I
by
think
size?
that's something we can talk about when we actually
Sure.
prototype it, right? Uh,
Right.
but the first thing, let's talk about it. Where exactly can how do we define the usage of this product, right?
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we want it from a very small level to the very high level where everything is on, like, every you can store from pasta to a big size turkey, or we want to go like from uh, noodles or to the dinner leftovers that is hardly a serving or like hardly two
Can you
servings.
scroll up to the top? Maybe we can see the problems that you were talking about and see
No,
where it.
so the thing is we actually narrowed down to the two products, that is collapsible food container and essentially cans. We need to take it forward.
No, no, I get that. Longer life after opening the seal. Uh, Size reduction, expiry date. Wait, something happened. Okay.
Nothing, sorry.
Expiry date, what does that mean? Expiry date, and how does that relate with? So
So,
based off of my understanding,
okay.
I would particularly use this product. So I once when we went for like touring and stuff like that, right? Like when we go for let's say I went to just recently I went to, let's say I went to Florida, right? So I took a lot of food. Okay, and the problem was that after you take after you're done consuming the food, you still have that big container with you, right?
Yes,
You don't want that. So I guess that is one of the places where you can use, where it kind of reduces, you don't want to throw away your container, you want to bring your container back with you, but at the same time it gives you space within your bag so that you can put more things, other things that you might want to buy from Florida or some place you might have gone, right? That is one usage I find fit. What do you think, Rugender?
Yeah, that's a cool idea. I mean, yeah, that's a multi-purpose use. Like, means it reduces size also and tells us how much food, like how much food we have. So it helps us to planning whether we need to buy or throw or how we
yes.
can. Yeah.
So the thing was we started with the milk thing, right?
Mhm.
So if we have something visual, right? So if a milk expires, usually the milk limit is 2 weeks if you selected a gallon, and if you go for an organic milk, it has a 6 month shelf life. But after breaking the seal, it has a week shelf life, right? So if you consume something, right, on the fifth or seventh day, it shows you that it's nearly an expiration date.
Right.
So that
Yeah.
is something we're focusing on. So like visual indications of whether the food is going expired or not, or how much is left in the container exactly. So you can plan things. So
Okay.
you don't need
Okay.
to do the grocery errand just because you missed on the milk.
Um,
Kind of, does it ring
One
a bell?
easy way would be I would just make transparent bottles. It would make it easier for me to know whether or not, like, so I'm not sure if we need a collapsible food container to solve that problem. Like I can
Okay.
just make a transparent bottle, or I can make a transparent some
But
some kind of transparent material where I know what's going on inside, right? Whether it's over
but
or
I think with the transparent problem is we shared it last time. The transparent thing is you occupy same amount of space in the fridge, and also you won't be able to know what exactly is expired or how long the food lasts.
right.
Yes,
So
but like we can have some kind of markings, like red mark, like show like it's like below 10%, and we can have it printed on the bottle when it is going to expire. So we can see directly.
But the red marking won't work, I think, because How would you exactly do it?
Like, or we have kind of some containers, like for measuring, for cooking we use some containers which have got measuring 100 ml, 200 ml
Yeah.
markings are there. So yeah, similar on that lines.
Okay. Fair enough, I guess.
Um,
Mm.
okay, but let's try to stick with the collapse.
Okay, right,
Yeah,
sure.
because see,
Okay,
collapsible is a thing because I don't know
but
whether.
okay, the thing is,
Mm.
even if we stick with the collapsible food container thing, its
Okay,
usage doesn't need to be specifically to
the milk
uh,
thing, right?
yeah.
To any food material also we can have any like kind of what do you say, any like art thing, we have like clay or kind of something or we can have some kind of powder also, which we don't know like whether it means we have to get out that or not. If someone is into art, he can have his kind of like thing stored in that container, so it's like kind of multi-purpose when he needs to get his colors or powders or something like that.
Okay, I still didn't get much about it, Mukendra.
Yeah, so right. See, so like in like a collapsible container will have means will have some things. So we can't stick just to food. Like we can have like various kind of other stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
not just food. So multi-purpose. Like you can store our like store powder, store any
Okay,
kind of liquid, gel,
Chill. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Truly good. Okay, so
multi-purpose usage.
multi-purpose, you said, right? But wouldn't that actually kill the product?
Mm, well, like why?
So if you make it a multi-purpose, right?
Mm, yeah.
It, I think then uh, we're not solving the first problem. Like we're not solving the thing where it actually tells us that the food has expired or not.
The
Okay.
question is whether
Mm,
we want to address that problem first of all, right? Because now that you have landed on the product, which is collapsible container,
Yeah.
okay, does it really have to solve the expiry date problem, or can we solve much better problems with this idea? Right? It
So
doesn't
so
matter.
yeah.
mm,
So what else problem can we solve with this collapsible food containers? So the multi-purpose is, I think, is very wide.
I would suggest
okay.
let's remove the word from it, right? Let's
Okay.
Okay.
collapsible
Yeah.
container,
Collapsible
Okay.
containers.
and then we can see what we can do with it.
I
Yeah.
think the problem with the
Mm,
food removal of food container is it
mm,
won't be a consumer centric product because consumer centric product, the food is the only thing that is exactly every each and every consumer connects to.
Right.
yeah.
That
So
makes
yeah,
sense.
so
Mm.
let's move on to another thing, or maybe we can jump back to the collapsible
Maybe we can
containers
add
after.
maybe we can add the travel use of it. That is,
Mm,
uh, it reduces the size after you travel, while you're traveling.
mm.
So like occupies less space while traveling.
Yes, yes. What else can you use it for?
Then
Yeah, so yeah, the same thing is with the fridge also or any other stuff. Like when you keep
yeah,
fridge
while
also, yeah, so it will
traveling.
reduce the space.
We can make maybe another point. We have so much space.
No,
Yeah,
no, like it's the same point. So like
kind of the same point. In the
yeah,
fridge or in the shelf, it
yes.
will reduce
So like
size.
maybe shelf, right?
We do.
Anything we can think of?
Can you scroll back to the top? I want to see like about expiry date and stuff.
So the like we've earlier had a focus.
Okay,
These are the 3 points where I copied for you at the bottom.
right. So one of the reasons why I think our food could get spoiled continuously
Yeah.
is that because it has oxygen in it, right? Like
Okay.
once you open the container and then when you actually start consuming it, there is like oxygen that gets filled up inside the container that kind of gets fungus or things like that, right? So if it is collapsing, we would have
Less
lesser
amount.
less
Yeah.
amount of
Out of
air that is trapped.
empty air, yeah,
Yeah, so it would create much more vacuum maybe, or maybe it reduces the amount of air that is stored inside it, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
That
because the size will be less, so empty space
Yeah.
won't be there.
yeah, so maybe that is one of the usage, which is like
Right.
that is that is one of the ways we can tackle the expiry stuff.
Thing.
Like
Awesome.
we won't let it expire that soon, uh, because there is less amount of oxygen to oxidize the food in there, or maybe cause fungus or anything like that.
Yeah, I think that is a technical thing, right?
Mm.
Like
Right.
focus on the usage, like it reduces our like travel, shelf life,
Mm.
refrigerator. Does
So
it?
I mean,
Would
I
it
was just
make what?
I was just justifying the problem
Problem
that
of
we.
it. I
So
I totally
usage
get
is,
it.
usage is it increases the shelf life of your product.
Yeah.
You can see that.
Uh, you have anything else?
Yeah, you can like to write this point. It increases the shelf life of the product
But
in this product
I
research.
I think that's that was the problem, and that needs
Okay.
to be addressed, right?
So problem is based, like usage is based off of the problem, right?
No.
Okay,
Not
so
solution.
it
Okay.
increases the shelf size.
Or you can say, I don't know. Uh, I think we have covered most of it. You don't need to write that much.
Yeah, I think this is a more of a solution, or
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
like how would we jump on to the solution part?
Yeah. So this is the problem.
Okay.
What we need to do is we need to change the problems that we are addressing.
Mm.
But yeah,
That's
maybe next Saturday, if you have you as a panel, we would be coming out with much more better problems and products of it.
Yes, sure.
Okay, so
that's
moving on to the next product is self-chilling cans, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
so I think everyone has been to a party where we are served sodas or any non-alcoholic alcoholic drinks, right? So the problem is to the third or fourth round, everything is at a room temperature, right? And it's not at up to the mark, especially in summers. So how are we gonna solve that? And the idea came was as a self-chilling cans, uh, where a particular can exactly starts chilling after opening it or cracking up the can, and that is basically starts chilling the product. So I know you may ask about the chemicals and the process, but we're not getting into it. But what exactly would your how long would it a can should last chilled, or how long should be chilled to?
If suppose like mostly it will be used for like parties or travel purpose.
Yeah.
Only we need self-selling cans. Yeah,
Okay.
so we can have like this 24 to 48 hours. Like this.
But, we want
Oh,
no. So to talk about
okay.
after opening the can, how
Okay.
long
Right.
do you want it to chill?
I
Um,
think 30 minutes is fine.
yeah,
30 minutes.
1 hour, max 30 minutes to 1 hour.
I think one like we don't last a drink 1 hour maybe. Even like high, you hardly drink 30 minutes, I guess.
Yeah,
What's a
but
Okay.
30 minutes is like if you're in a group or something, you want like you're
yeah.
talking, eating, and you're chilling and all of that. So it might take that much time.
Yeah,
Don't know.
so 30 minutes is okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
again, how do you put it in usage terms? Keeps your keeps
The chill, yeah,
Keeps the can cold after opening.
yeah.
Okay.
It should be 30 chill for 30 minutes. The can should be chilled for 30 minutes.
Can stays chilled after putting it out of fridge
Yeah,
for 30
no, we're not
minutes.
putting it in fridge.
Okay.
The concern
Okay.
is like we take
Hmm.
directly from the retailer, not in fridge.
Okay.
It
Okay.
doesn't go to fridge. It directly goes from factory to your
Hmm.
wholesaler to a retailer, and it nowhere gets into fridge. Not even while
Okay.
transportations or nothing like that. It stays on your
Hmm.
normal table. You just pop it and it's chilled.
so
Okay.
you can just write chilled beverage
Hmm.
uh, in parties uh,
No, I
and
think that the chill should last till 30 minutes.
Yeah.
but that is a product description, right? It's not a usage.
Yes.
Or maybe you're addressing that's the way you're addressing the problem.
Yes.
Right.
It's
So
coming back to your original point where you mentioned that it's like
yes,
you're
yeah, yeah. Thanks, Nihar.
Hmm. Yeah.
So how do you exactly what should you think the I think that then though we don't have a usage of this product because it's self.
so where you can where can you use that kind of thing, right? Where you can is it in like you can write about parties, or you can write like chilled beverage anywhere. That is
Hmm.
probably
Okay. And one thing it solves the storage problem. Like when you had lot of guests coming and you got lot of cans, even
Yes.
your fridge is not there, like not sufficient to store 100 of cans. So you can just keep it outside just after buying and give it to them.
Yeah, so that
That
was the that was the whole problem, right? So, but
itself
we don't
storage.
have a usage, right? So it's just that. So I think one of the thing is whenever you go to a beach, your soda is not ever up to the mark chilled you want.
yeah. So
Yes.
Yeah,
I think we addressed that in chilled beverage anywhere.
anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So we you want to add anything into the collapsible containers?
I think it's fine if we have like 2 or 3 usage for everything. It's not
Yeah,
like
I'm just
No. Oh,
questioning so that we can take a break.
sure.
no, no. I think this is fine.
This is
This
fine,
looks fine.
right?
Fine. Yeah.
Uh,
That's fine.
so I think we should be moving on to product size and description.
Okay.
How do you exactly describe it, right?
Okay.
Okay, so let's do it after like a minute. Let's have a break.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Awesome. How do you stop recording?
Will you still live or break?
La la.
Antila.
Sudhir?
It's live now.
Oh, Yogendra, where is he?
Mugendra is joining, I guess.
We are live again?
Yes. Think Mugendra is here.
All right. Moving on to the fun part.
Okay, so let's move on to the fun part. Quite nicely said.
So we are going to define the size and what it would be description in this part.
Anything like
Hmm.
same thing how we discuss. So I think for the collapsible, it should be something that is how can you say something in 2 inches? It should be collapsed to like 2 inches or something like that. Or
I think let's remove the column for this one, if possible. Be much
okay,
better. Let's make it like collapsible container.
Hmm. And write bullet points.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so for collapsible containers,
Murugendra, what are your thoughts? What do you think? Like,
So yeah. So So first we are talking about size, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
let's talk about size.
Okay. Okay, so it should like as soon as like some like it should be related to some percent. Like suppose if like product is 100% full, it will be like full size.
Yeah.
When it goes to below like 90%, 80%, it should reduce by like 1 inch after each successive 10% decrease.
So if you say about like 1 inch, right? So what's the
Yeah.
maximum size that a product or a container should have?
Uh,
I think
so
the ideal size of a
mm,
refrigerator is
mm,
uh somewhere around 10 inches, right? Because it fits exactly a gallon. The gallon is
yeah,
somewhere around
right.
9.5 or 10 inch.
10 inches.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's pretty much enough for
Mm,
us,
yeah.
right? 10 inches of a max size. And if you put it to the bare minimum of like 1 inch,
Mm,
that is like 10 is to 1's ratio of size reduction,
right.
right? I think that would be pretty much difficult,
Okay.
right? Because even if we fold
Mm,
a carpet, I don't think it gets into 1/10 of it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so maybe
Yeah, that's
1 inch is kind of something that's not feasible, I would
right.
suggest.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you guys think because we have multi-purpose usage, we should come up with three different size
Mm,
or based on the usage? Do you think that would be one of the things we should consider? Maybe one
uh,
of the usages while travel, one of the usages for storing in fridge, one of the usages something else. Maybe three different size options would be helpful. I don't know. What
yeah.
do you
Yeah,
think?
I totally
That's
get with the three
good.
different size option, right?
Right.
But I'm like concerned about what your size should be.
How much it should reduce? Like by how
Yeah.
much ratio?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Suppose 1:10 ratio, like from 10 to 5:10
So
ratio.
let's go with like
Mm,
small, medium,
So you see this one.
mm.
or large.
This. Wait, hold on.
Uh, Not able to see clearly.
Let me try. Can
Yeah.
you see this?
Yeah. Right.
This is one of the food containers I got. Right.
Okay.
Right.
Comes with a lid
Mm,
on top of it, and this is for like if you there are people who get addicted to eating cookies and stuff.
mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
What they do is they put cookies in here and they lock it. Right. So
Okay.
this is
Right.
I think this size should be good enough if you want to store like dry food and snacks.
Okay.
Okay. But like, how do you? So if we go into three categories, small, medium, and large, how do you exactly want it to be? Like, what your maximum size of a small container?
Mm,
Okay, so small would be I think
4 inches, 5 inches. We're talking about the height.
right.
right. So if Mrugendra, if we go
Mm,
by the idea of Mrugendra, like maybe to store makeup or to store I don't know paint brush material or like that, right? So in that kind of a scenario, something of
But I think if you give three options of like small, medium, and large, right? So that would be on the consumer. If he wants to store a paintbrush, then he or she would opt for a medium or large one, right?
okay.
that's
Yeah.
true.
So small,
Yeah.
we can like keep it like this for the food part, like milk or like something.
Yeah, I
Maybe 8 inches. Okay.
So that's your max height.
And what do you think?
No, like because
Okay. Nice.
it's a collapsible, so there would be a
Mm,
maximum height where it shows 100%, and
yeah.
then there is a
So,
minimum height where it's just the lead and the collapsible
mm,
body.
right.
So you want 8 inches as a whole, like the max height, right?
8 to 10 inch, yeah, in that range.
So and how would
Mm.
you quantify your large thing?
Large can be like more like 20 to 25 inch. It would be used for traveling only. So you can store a lot of food, a lot of stuff in that. That's why it should be large. That's why
do
it's
you
large.
want me to
But
get do
yeah,
you,
20 inches would be too much for traveling. That would be a trunk
Okay.
space. Trunk space, I
do
guess.
you want me to get actual containers and maybe we can see that?
We
Okay.
don't mind that because I
I
think a
think
Mm.
carry bag is somewhere around 24 inches, right?
Yeah. A normal target bag is.
Yeah, normal target bag is 24 inches, right?
Mm.
So I don't think we take that and travel.
Container. Okay.
Yeah. I think
Hmm.
small should be something around 6 inches.
Okay.
So you have one of these, right?
Right.
This,
Yeah.
I think this should be medium, or
Okay.
maybe what do you think? This is something you use for traveling. I use
Yeah.
this for traveling a lot, right? I have like,
That's a flat bottom, right?
Hmm.
yeah,
Right.
this one is something, or maybe you can have like a bigger one in height, but
Hmm.
much smaller in the width.
Yeah.
With
So
okay.
if we can crack collapsible
Hmm.
nature of a material, then we can crack height and breadth. So that's
Yeah, yeah. So
Hmm.
but what I'm saying is the volume should remain. I think we should think in terms of volume, right? In
Okay.
like what is the initial volume you want, and what is so maybe if we keep the volume same to this, similar to this, but we reduce the width and
width and height. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the volume. So what max volume should it have?
so since one of our use case was milk gallon, right?
Yeah.
What I for medium we should have a gallon, right? I think that is the moderate amount of size we can have for medium. But large we can go for bigger than a gallon. Maybe I
So
think
so f-
1.5.
so for the for the minimum, so for the small container, we want to go for 1 liter is fine, right? One or a half gallon.
yeah, half a gallon I
Half a
think.
gallon is fine.
Yeah, I think. And then we can define shapes and sizes after that.
Yeah, I don't like
Okay.
for the
Yeah.
medium is 1 gallon, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's the size of a can we get in food like of
Milk.
Coca-Cola? Is it
So
1 gallon?
s-
2 gallon?
yeah, it's
Yes,
one
one
gallon.
gallon.
1 gallon, and then
2.8 liters.
the small one can be the small bottle, the bottle juice that we get. So that is a small container, and the big one could be something bigger than the 1 gallon. But yeah,
Yes, we got already half gallon bottles of milk
yeah, yeah,
in the
Yeah,
yeah.
market.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
And
I
then for
think
the large
That's right.
one,
what do you think about the large container?
1.5.
1.5, 2 is fine because it will shrink anyway, so it will become 1.5 medium.
And
Okay.
like what should your factor of shrinkage be? Because that also we need to consider.
Factor of
Shrinkage.
Shrinkage.
shrinkage. Okay. I think that wouldn't that depend on the height of the container based on the shape we define, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but like
But yeah, I get what you see, what you're saying.
thanks man.
Um,
Can simply get this done or what? Oh
just put
God,
tab. I think tab is better. Tab. Enter tab.
it's not going happening. But we can talk. I can do this.
Yeah.
uh, it doesn't much matter now.
So factor means like how much it will shrink by how much
Yeah, but
inches.
like how exactly small do you want it to be? So like if it occupies roughly around 1 meter square, or not like 1 meter is too much.
Hmm.
So
10 inches, suppose
yeah,
if you
if it
like.
occupies 10 inches, right? 10 inches in length or 10 inches width. So you want to like have it as a 2 inch thing, or you want to have it at 1 inch? Because I think
Hmm.
these are pretty much bizarre numbers to have.
Hmm.
Because I recently saw collapsible water bottle,
Yep.
Instagram ads, yeah, and
Hmm.
it holds roughly around 1.2 liters, and it's still with the base and the
With the cap.
with the cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 4 inches, 4.5 or something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Means the total length might be 10 to 12 inches.
Yes, the total
Hmm.
length is 10 to but so if we roughly around take 0.5 gallon, it should be roughly around 6 inch. So what should your storage container be when you store it? You want it to be like 6 inch, then we can go for 2 inches. Like 1/3 is kind of achievable, I guess.
Yeah, 1/3. Yeah, so yeah, bottle was like 12 inch and it got to 4 inch. 1/3.
Yeah,
makes sense.
33
But
one.
so wait for I think for small one it would we won't be able to shrink much. For medium one, you would be able to shrink more because if you think about it, like no matter what the volume is, the size of the cap and the base is going to remain.
Remains the same, yeah. So I
Yeah.
think the factor remains the same, like 0.33 percentage of whatever the dimensions are.
But in smaller case, it might be harder to like, achieve this thing.
Yeah.
Like
So
from like 6 inches to 2 inches is like big jump.
yeah. So that's what that's exactly what I was agreeing to, Murugan. Like it's like So for small, if you are able to shrink to one third, for medium, you would be able to shrink to two third, and for large, you would be able to shrink to 2.5 by 3 or something like that. Because
So I
based
think
on
that's other way around. For small, it should be 2.53.
um
Two
no,
third, yeah, because
Two third is like
for the
point six
small, you
six
won't
point.
be able to shrink it. For the medium, you would be able to
Yeah,
shrink it. And
right.
for the
Two
large, you
third
won't be
is
able to shrink
oh,
more
so
of
oh
it.
yeah, so
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
how much would remain? Okay, okay, yeah.
Remain.
I was thinking how much would shrink. Okay, cool.
And yeah, so like because like point six six is bigger than point three
Yeah, so like let's
two by three.
Let's make it
for the
two
small,
by,
it should shrink to 2 by 3,
yeah, 2 by 3. Yeah, makes sense
third
to me.
size. For
Yeah.
medium,
I think we
one third
can
is fine.
half, at least half. Yeah, one third. One third is good. Yeah, one third is
Well,
also
that's
good.
what.
Yeah.
I
Half
think if we go one third in the medium, then what's the large thing?
it doesn't, maybe we can have the same shrinkage size for large as well, doesn't matter. Like it's like
If we
it's people are going to buy the large for the volume it's going to have. It's not just based on, maybe you can have the same amount of shrinkage capacity, but the volume for large is more and for the volume for medium is less. That could be the only difference. It's fine, you know but you can like, for just the description, it could be one half to one third for both of medium and large. It's fine.
okay, and so let's talk about the lids then. I think it would remain the same though,
Yep. Yep.
right? So would you rather have a pop-up or you want to have like screw top or
What do you
maybe
think?
Screw top. I prefer
so
screw
I think
top.
there are three kind of sleeve. One is the press down where you exactly like press the lid and then it opens. One is the pop-up, what is like you use your thumb and you like just like a water bottles, and one is the screw top like where you actually
Yep.
roll the one we
Okay.
exactly in the milk gallons at present.
Milk colors.
Yeah.
So I personally prefer like screw tops, like which are easier to roll because I have a bad experience with pop tops. Like I always break them. Like
Okay.
I've put a lot of pressure on that. That's why I personally prefer screw tops, which are easy to use and easy to handle, and no thing or like no fear of breaking it.
Okay.
Okay, but okay, yes, sounds good.
Quick
And like
question.
many questions, like so water bottle I use daily, so like it's good chance like it will break or it will get bad, like because lot of usage is high
Yeah,
as compared to lab. Because screwing means we are putting less pressure on this thing.
I think this is good that we have come over here. Like, so, but let's keep the use case in mind and then define the
Sure.
lid shape and size, I think. Um, so what are the use cases of a small size, right? What do you think?
Okay.
And what are the use cases of, let's start with medium, because medium is much more easier for us to fit in our mind.
Okay.
So what would be the use cases of a medium size? And based off of that, we'll define the lid design and all of that. So what do you think, Yogendra or Anand? Like, what should
let me
So
so let's
yeah,
keep the small here.
first thing is use case will be like basic thing. Like first we can start with storing liquid like milk or coke.
okay? So that's for medium, right?
Yeah, it's a medium
Okay.
because milk is the most used thing and it gets spoiled very easily. It's difficult to judge like how much milk is left and how much you want.
Okay. So for in that case, I think what you said what makes sense, like having the screw top one.
Hmm.
Because if you just want to store milk, but then the question becomes like, are we going to store the milk in it? Because if that's the case, then I won't be able to pour inside that small lid,
Yeah.
right? Or
Okay.
am I getting the milk from outside
From
and that?
outside, yeah.
From outside. So from the factory only it's coming in that kind of like water.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And is that true? Like we are doing it mass scale and suppliers will
I
use that
think
for this.
yeah, that's the application of the product. How do we present our product, right?
Hmm.
But if you look at the consumer perspective, so I think if it's small, But wouldn't it much matter if we go like
So look at the use cases that we have,
yeah,
right?
because
Right.
if we store some
So
solid food, right? So we
mm,
need a broader mouth.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and for that
If
broader
you are
mouth,
storing like cookies or khatra Gujarati,
yeah,
like all dry things, we need a broader thing.
yeah, nuts and other things, we need a broader mouth.
I think we should go back to the use case for that. Like,
Thanks.
Mm.
like I don't know, like because for the medium stuff, if people are going to buy the product, right? Let's forget about the milk, okay? Let's
Yeah,
let's
like we already forgot about the milk because Brugendra wants brushes, gels, and powders in it.
Okay.
You want
yeah.
The
a
multi-purpose use, that's why.
multi-purpose thing, yeah, and you want more of on traveling basis, right? So we already forgot about the milk.
Okay.
That's
Uh
why we always start with the MVP and we're not focusing on that.
okay. I yeah, for medium I think I feel like the thermos size lid that we have is fine. Like whatever we get, because thermoses are able to store coffee, hot
Yeah.
coffee,
Or tea and everything.
all of that. I think that the lid is sufficient enough to fill that up.
So, like, talk about sizes, right? So, and would it be a screw top or flip?
Screwed up. I think screwed up. I don't know. What do you think, Nobindra?
Screw top. Yeah, I told you, like I hate this pop. Because the thing is that good chance of breaking it up. If you break up, then it's gone.
But I think even with
Unless it's like one of those that you press and it opens up.
yeah, that's what
Okay.
I'm telling you. One is a press down, one is a pop up, and one is a screw top.
But I broke
So
this as
this
well.
one. Yeah, so I'm telling this
There's
one.
one.
So like that's why I use the screw top bottles.
Yeah. Screwed up is better, I think. Yeah.
Easier
Screw.
to
So screw top,
easier to use.
yeah.
Because less pressure, less chance of breaking. And if it yeah, so if it breaks, then the whole container is gone.
Okay. Then how do we want large containers top?
I think large should be just a lid. Normal,
But
like
like what's the lid should be?
duck like this.
Array, but
Round or flat like
Yeah,
this.
round or flat, yeah, whatever.
The shape is. So yeah, we are not going to store this thing liquid in that large.
No, no, no. I also don't think I would store liquid in this big stuff.
and what should be of the small?
Small.
Can be like pop, like it can be like coffee or something. Like it can be used often as compared to medium one.
What like
Small one will like small
Small.
one will get used. Like people use small one for the things that which they use daily or they need frequently. So pop top is easier to open that as compared to screw.
pop up or press down?
What? How is a water bottle? This thing?
My water
Nihar,
bottle is a zipper
Nihar,
bottle.
Nihar,
I
Nihar.
think
Hmm.
uh, so. Water bottle is the. I think this one. This one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one is good.
So it's a pop up, right?
Wait. So the size of the
Small.
size that you've defined is zero point 0.5 gallon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
zero point 0.5 gallon is
One. This 1.9 liters.
something like this, maybe.
Yeah. No, a little bigger than that.
Bigger than
25%
1.9
bigger than
liters. Yeah.
But I
something
think
like this.
this kind of a lid should be fine.
Okay. This
That's
opening.
nowhere possible in a food in a regular container. I
Yeah.
think
So
something
this I
like
have
this.
to this. Oh,
Sorry, this.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
that's
Right. So what exactly we want? We want. I think press down should be easier because we would be using it daily basis, right? So
hmm.
I
maybe
don't
just
think press down matters. Like, I don't know. You can just have screw top for both small and medium. It's fine. It
Yeah.
would be easier for us to manufacture also.
Yeah. Reduce production cost.
Yeah,
Need of materials, different materials.
screw top for both.
Yes, Europa.
okay. Screw top it is then. So with collapsible containers, I think this all does right. Production side. Uh, Now let's move on to self-chilling cans.
Oh, we have that one as well.
Oh. Okay.
I forgot we had that product.
Okay, self-chilling cans. So size of it, I think this would be very much same only, right?
Yeah. Only
Uh,
one size fits all.
yeah, 250 ml or whatever the pint size is, right?
I don't drink. I don't know.
But you must be drinking soda, right?
You guys are the expert.
No, I don't drink. The soda is not pint. Soda is like a 200 ml bottle. Coca Cola is 200 ml.
So it's,
Hey, we can just Google it, man. Let me just Google it.
What are pints?
I think it's same, right?
Pint.
Coca Cola can is 200 ml.
What is half a pint called? 8 fluid ounces.
Okay, what is 8 grams?
473 ml.
73 ml.
Yeah. So one pint is, I think that's because I think everyone usually takes one can, right? In drinks or
Yeah.
something like that. So one pint of around 500 ml near
Yeah,
about.
500 ml.
So that is the volume, right? And how exact, how long or it should be, or what's your like size specifications?
Um, I think Coca-Cola is good, I guess. I don't know. I That's the only thing I drink. So
Coca Cola size, yeah.
yeah.
But you need to
So
double.
8, 6, 4, 5. With soda is like 4 inches, less than 6 inches.
Yeah, it's something. I think it fits in your hand, right? So
Yeah,
like
Whatever is that? Whatever size is that?
one, two,
4 inches.
4.5 or 5 inches,
4
right?
inches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 inches.
Very sorry with this. So it should be like 4 inches in height, and, and that is the same, right? If you want to add anything in this, and
Um.
yeah, the best part.
Hmm.
So it would be at a room temperature when you have in your hand, right? First thing.
Yeah, so
S-
25 degrees.
Yeah, let's whatever the room temperature is. If
Okay.
it's winter, it's already cold, right?
Yeah.
So, and if you open it somewhere, it's already 80. So, okay. So, how fast you want your can to be chilled after opening it up? So let's please be practical about it or feasible about it. So if you pop a bottle, if you pop a can, do you have in the first 5 seconds or 10 seconds or 15 seconds so that we can actually determine how fast should it chill?
Um. What do you think?
You guys are expert guys.
I'm not the expert at all. Mugendra, what do you think? I don't drink much.
No, I'm telling about regular soda if you
Regular
have, right?
sodas.
Yeah,
So
regular
regular
soda.
soda,
So
15 seconds,
Yeah, 10, 15 seconds.
20,
Like,
15
I
is
wouldn't
good.
want to wait for 1 minute though. So 10, 15 is more than enough.
Enough, yeah,
so
10, 15
so
seconds.
the moment I open my break the can, right? Or pop the can, it should chill in 15 seconds. I think that it's fair enough, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair enough.
yeah, fair enough. I mean, at that point, customer shouldn't be like, I wanted it 5 seconds. We are giving you chilled food. Okay,
Yeah.
just get what you have. Just kidding. Just kidding.
And should last 30 minutes. I think 30 minutes is way too much, yes, because I don't know, like even if you have soda in a dinner, we hardly have a dinner for 20 minutes long.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
we
Unless you
can reduce
watch
to 20
something.
minutes. 20
15.
minutes.
15 to 20 minutes something is
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah, we'll have to change the one at the top as well.
Okay.
that's fine.
Write it.
It should chill for 15 minutes or something like that.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that's all in this we can cover, right?
Cool. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think this is
this is enough. And the last is marketing your product.
marketing.
So let's time this because we just have 20 more minutes. So how do you market your collapsible containers? I think the
Mm.
first question we should be really asking is, do we actually,
Sample size.
huh?
First we can think is like who are our target customers?
Yeah, yeah,
Which segment you are targeting?
yeah. Or maybe like, do we still want to go for a digital marketing, or you want to go for online or offline marketing?
Um, I think that is way ahead of a question for now.
Okay,
Let's focus on based on the use cases we'll target whom to market, and maybe for each of those use cases and based on each of those customer categories we might need to take different channels. For one of them we might need to take online, we might need to take in store, you don't know, right? So
okay,
based on use case we can break it down like
okay.
very.
So maybe like let's go with target audience, maybe.
Yep.
What
First,
the?
let's first we can divide into our segment, like who are target audience, like which types of people are targeting.
And that also we can break it down by small, medium and large.
Like,
So
I
small
think
who.
that would pretty much remain the same.
No, like I think
no,
use cases are different, right, for small, medium, and large. So that's why I think I
because most of people who are youth travel a lot as compared to people who are old. So old people won't use that one like large containers for traveling.
yep.
Like even like small children will use this small bottle like for their daily needs, for their
But
milk or something.
I get it. I think the main question we need to ask is, how does a small child get that container? It would be a mid, like mom of like in early 30s or in early 40s,
Right.
or like maybe like late 20s to early
Only
40s.
that, yeah.
Yeah. S- So that would be that would be the audience we should be targeting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, quick question.
Okay.
How are we selling the product? Like, are we selling each of small, medium, large individually, or are we packaging them together and then selling it?
I
How do you?
prefer individual.
I think we would be selling it individually,
Okay, and then accordingly we should, because I think that is also part of marketing a product, right? Like
but
how are you sell your product is also important. And
how, like, let's talk about either ways first. Then we can narrow it down to which way should we focus on.
okay, hold on, I have some.
So we can weigh some pros and cons of both, like individual and bulk selling, like this thing together, three selling.
So let's target
So,
for individual selling this one.
so let's go to the basics of marketing, right?
My
So what are
God.
Okay. Hmm.
four P's of marketing? First is product, second is
Hmm.
price, third is place, and fourth is promotion, right?
Okay.
We need to figure these four things out. We have the product nailed down.
Hmm.
Second, pricing that is needed. Third is the
Okay.
price, and fourth is the promotion. So let's figure out what should be the pricing of the product
Let's
first.
keep a price as X or A or something like that because
Um, you need the price in order to know who would buy your product, right? Like if you're going to market it in cities, then you can put a price of $30. It's fine. If you're going to market in some smaller places, or if you're going to, let's say if you're going to dollar store, you cannot have a price of more.
nothing more than $1.
Yeah, so that's why I think we should have like a price estimate at least, if even if we don't have like uh,
But for that we would be needing a data, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
we need to like what is the cost, price, transportation cost, everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
that is fine. That is fine. But one of the ways we can determine the estimated price is by looking at what competitors' prices are. There is no one of this kind of product in the market, but there might be
Yeah.
similar products like this. Like,
the
what is the
Rubbermaid.
right? And maybe range the price around for small around a bottle. Then what is the price of this big container? For large, we'll range price somewhere around that, because if people find something cheaper, they might not care about getting a collapsible container. They might just go for the normal container, right? So let's look at the prices for those, and then we can break those prices down and put it in here. So it would give us like a rough estimate of what our price should be. Does that make sense?
Uh,
Okay. So you
but
need
I
to first
think
find out
to
who are the competitors.
to be very honest with you, I think our competitors would be Rubbermaid or some guys there. But we need to figure out like what would the actual production cost,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
look, even if your production cost is very high, right, you won't be able to sell it more than your competitors, or at least very high than your competitors. Like
yeah.
it has to
I
be
totally respect that, but I think that
Yes.
would be undue attention at present because that would be large amount of data and stats we will be talking about.
okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I
So.
seriously suppose that because then
Hmm.
we're not actually doing it as a like process. We actually getting into like very fine granularity or details of it, and that would actually kill the purpose of it.
I think it is important to
I think because we just started out, right? So
yeah,
we
yeah,
need
Okay.
to like cover things, right? Because
okay,
this is not a like ongoing thing. We need to do
okay.
complete this. So either like going into granularity, I would like suggest like let understand what exactly your marketing or how should you exactly plan out marketing campaign, or maybe how should you exactly approach to market with the product.
Yeah, and in order to market your product, you need to understand the pricing, place, and
I totally get that, but let's keep it price with X dollars or Y dollars or something like that,
okay,
so that
okay,
Okay.
let's keep it like let the shelf price be Y dollars, right?
okay,
Okay.
So your production cost, I think it would be Y by 3 or Y by 4,
okay,
Yes.
right? So let's keep it like that so everyone can it's easier for them to gauge also,
okay, okay.
something like
Yeah,
that.
Okay.
yeah, cool,
And
cool.
so like how do we define it, by individual selling it or direct? So let's term it as a table so it's easier for us. I hope you're not like you with me in that.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay.
So this would be the aspects. This is individual selling and this is bulk, right? So in the bulk, do we determine small, medium, and large, or pack of three, pack of four, pack of five?
That is, yeah, that should
The
that
question.
I that is again influenced by a lot of things, aspects, individual selling, and what do you mean by aspects?
Aspects is like let's say the price thing, right? So if we individual selling, it would be so
Oh,
like
Okay.
that.
okay.
Price for
Uh,
the promotion thing, individual
aspects, aspects, let's put price, promotion, and play. Product, price, promotion. So I think
product
product
is
is
the same, yeah.
individual
Price.
price, promotion, and place.
Let me
Let's
add,
put it as
please.
X right now, right? As you mentioned,
What?
Okay.
price, promotion, and
Yeah.
price,
I
place.
just wait, please. Insert price,
Place.
place,
I see what you mean.
promotion, right?
Yep, yep.
Okay, for individual selling, let's keep it Y. Or you have
Yep.
any other alphabet
Let's,
you want to interested in? Let's
ah,
keep it M and N. Easier
yeah.
for us, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't guys, it's your product. Okay, so based on that, we have a production. Okay, we forgot about the production cost and other things.
Yep. That should be included in the price of the product, so it's fine.
Yeah, but like for us, for clarification, though, so the production
Yep,
cost.
yep. No, no, makes sense.
So if we sell it individually, right? So we
Yep.
in the production cost, we actually includes the packing, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
everything.
So how do you suggest that it should be M by 4 or 5 or 3?
So I've watched this really good video on how should you keep your margins,
Okay.
and one of so her name is Sarah Blakely. She's the CEO of Spanx,
Thanks.
uh,
Yeah.
and she said in one of her videos that you should have at least 50% margin on your product minimum, right? You can have more than that, but at least 50% margin is required.
But
So
after including your budget and everything, after like production, marketing, promotions, then
yeah,
50% budget, or after just after production?
after everything you should have 50% margin.
That's too much.
That would be too much, I guess.
Yeah. So it will be M by 4 then, if that's true, then, because we'll have half of the price will be for transportation and distribution. But
Yeah, I think M by 4 is
M
makes
by
sense.
4 is good.
4, M by 4. Yeah.
I'm talking about individual, right? So you suggest that what would be the bulk price then?
Wait, so bulk is like, how are we looking at bulk? Is it like all three products combined together, like you mentioned before? Is it all three products combined together, or one
Pack
product
of
is
small three. Okay,
okay?
let's add another column so it's easier for us.
Okay.
Okay, pack of three, right?
Yep,
Or maybe just pack of 357, something like that. You want to put it?
pack of
Let's
three five.
put it pack of three.
Yeah, pack of three sounds good to me.
Pack of three
Yeah,
different,
yeah, three different.
right?
And
And
bulk you can put, instead of bulk you can put pack of three same.
yeah, pack of three same. Right, so this is A, and so as this remains A, then okay. So production cost or pack of three same.
N by 4.
So this again would be A by 4.
Yep.
Okay, place.
Place is nice. Think about. I mean, let's talk about place.
So individual selling would be way much more easier into like retail store like Target.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's it.
But so individual, I think, as you said, yeah, Target, Amazon. Um,
This thing, Walmart.
I'm sorry.
Walmart would be more on
Walmart.
pack, right?
So you can just write online and
Hmm.
offline retail stores. Online and offline retail stores. And yeah,
Channels are better word.
yeah.
Okay, online channels.
For the pack of three,
Pack of three, Costco.
Walmart also, Costco.
I think that would remain same, right? For everyone. Wholesale
Yeah.
stores.
No, so Costco is the one like who sells in bulk. Like other places don't sell in bulk.
But
So I think,
no, no, I mean like with the pack of three and pack of three different, the it would remain
yeah,
very pretty much same, right?
yeah. Wholesale is right. Yeah, you're right about
Yeah.
wholesale.
Wholesale store, Costco. I don't
Costco,
think Walmart is a wholesale. Walmart isn't wholesale, right?
no, it's not a.
Walmart, normal store,
Yeah,
like Target.
You can put Alibaba. Alibaba.
Yeah.
Sorry, eBay. eBay makes.
let's be very optimistic about the product getting delivered from Alibaba.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, cool.
I we,
Costco seems
we
good
don't
enough.
sell on
Good.
eBay anything. BJ's or something like that.
Yep.
ETC like, and I
Or our
think
own website.
Hmm.
Our own website.
Yeah,
okay.
our own website.
We can sell on our own website, right?
Yeah, we
Oh,
can sell
Yeah.
out. That's always a thing. So we don't need to mention that. So how individual selling?
Hmm.
What is the promotion strategy?
Okay. We can like for individual selling, it will be for people. I mean, for individual households, like small families.
Yeah, but
We
like
are targeting for
what would
promotion.
be the strategy?
um, Facebook first is important, right? Like
So
online.
that would be an offline or
Yeah.
offline promotions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
online.
think we missed
Online.
out of we missed out on the first thing, right? Person or audience
Yeah. Audience. Right. What is the
or
target
maybe
audience?
customer.
Audience promotion. Yep.
So what would be the customer of an individual container? Who would be a customer of an individual customer?
Container.
Like bachelors
Oh.
or newly married couples or someone like
Um,
that.
Everyone except I think that again depends on the size.
But
But
I think this is everyone, like even old people can get this individual
But
yeah,
customer.
I
So
don't think to be very honest, I think bachelors are the one who exactly go for individual stuff. They don't go for a pack thing.
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, because like
Yes.
everyone like at present the whole panel is bachelor.
Yes.
So uh, right?
Hmm.
You being a customer, you easily go for one thing, right? You don't buy a whole pack because you know that in every day you won't be using the whole pack.
Hmm.
That's true. Yeah, I think
Yes.
I believe in that. Like,
Yeah, okay.
So somebody in his late 20s to early 30s.
Hmm.
yeah, you can just mention bachelors.
No, but
Bachelors.
even the newly married
No.
would select that, right?
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
So yeah,
Yeah,
late 20s to early 30s is enough.
So pack of three and pack of three, four different remains the same. Now, like
Hmm.
household wives, majorly because they are the one who actually buy the containers.
um,
Like
Like
that's
normal households.
yeah, that's what I think. Family of three or five,
yeah, family. You can write family of three,
Family.
more than three. Yeah, family of more than three.
that would be pretty much same for this.
Yeah,
Yes.
This being covered, right? Now we can actually design a marketing, or we
you
want
can
to do
put promotion in
what?
there.
Yeah. From
Put promotion as
Yeah, sorry. You want to add some promotion to it? Like promotion, we can like take it after the on and offline, right? On and offline.
meaning.
So for the promotion thing, I'm thinking of taking it off, like whole separately. Like I don't think
Like,
we need to promote individual selling.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
yeah,
because
That's
like that's my
yeah,
please
yeah.
listen me out. If we promote pack of three selling, right? Or if we promote any of pack of three, right? There would be so there would be awareness of it, awareness of the product. So either if we actually promote pack of three same or different, we actually there is an awareness that it would be sold individually too.
Yep,
But
yep.
if we sell individually, there is no
Combine
awareness
those
that
cells.
what?
You can combine those cells. Is it possible to combine the cells?
No, like let's keep it different so we know that we thought over it. So, but if we actually promote individual selling, we won't be promoting pack of three or pack of three different, pack of three same and pack of three different.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Make sense,
yes.
everyone? So you want to take promotions out? We want to keep this in table.
I can just join the cells and keep it over there. It looks neater. But
Okay,
yeah, like that doesn't matter. Yeah.
so I think let's keep it empty only. Like not no promotions needed.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
No, promotions are needed. We're just not discussing about it.
I don't think individual promotions are needed for it.
Yeah. Pack of three requires promotion.
It's not needed, but you still need to promote your product, right?
No, no. If you go a step down of like, do we need an individual product to be promoted? We don't need that.
No, no, no. But you still need your company to like your product to be promoted, right? Like,
Brand name should be there. Like even Coke
yeah.
promotes the water
Okay.
till now.
Okay, so no promotion needed, but
Subtle promotions.
product recognition. Product
Why don't we
recognition.
need promotions? I don't understand. Why don't we need promotions? Like, I didn't get your point.
It's just that the product awareness is would be basically done by pack of three, same or different.
No, like
I think that.
no, like you can still have two ketchup bottles and
So
you still
let me give you a classic example. You never get a promotion of soda in a pack form.
no, but you see what I mean is by promotion is you do know that there is an advertisement board of Coca-Cola written somewhere.
Yeah,
Or
I totally get that. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm telling you. So there is a product aware. There is a two things, that is product awareness, and there is like what do you call it as
so I think
product
advertising is
promotion.
part of promotion. That's what I mean. Like it's not like I'm not saying about discounts and stuff.
No,
Not
I'm
that.
not like discount is a way last right, way way futuristic thing. I'm talking about product awareness and product promotions. I think they two are different.
But both of them go through advertising, right? Like you
Yeah.
need to, like, so that's the way I looked at it. Maybe you can, like, advertisement makes sense.
So we
That
don't
makes
need to advertise individual, or we don't need to advertise pack of three.
We need to advertise our brand. Doesn't matter if we're advertising it individually or pack of three. We need to advertise our
We
brand,
don't have a
right?
brand yet. We just have a
By,
product.
by brand, I mean our product. Like this
Yeah.
identity that we make collapsible container. That thing needs to be like that thing
S-
needs to be advertised. Like we make collapsible container,
So
something
we
like
need, do we need to advertise pack of three, or do we need to advertise individual thing? I think then if
that.
we advertising it, we should be advertising pack individual.
Um, I think we should advertise all of them, but it shouldn't be advertised in terms of pack of three or pack of
Hmm.
one or anything like that. We
Okay.
should like a product.
Like XYZ company is selling this collapsible container and show the features. That's it, and it's up to customer whether they want three or one
Yeah,
by going
yeah,
to market.
Okay.
exactly.
How do you want to move forward?
You can just write over there like advertisement. Make a column. Make a bullet point. Not there. Down.
New column.
Yeah. I think that's fine.
New column?
It's okay. Okay.
Just go down and write like, yeah, advertisement, and then we can point it out like what we want to do. Advertisements and promotions.
Okay. So as we identified our customers, right?
Mhm.
I think everyone knows. So like, do you want to try first online promotions or offline promotions? Like promotion, I'm talking about product awareness. No discounts or no product referrals or something like that. How do you exactly want to make people aware about your product?
I
Uh,
was Mugendra can maybe take a shot at it. I was just
like let's
Uh,
because like we are into this world of like rapidly pacing up with digital promotions, but we focusing should we focus on offline product firstly, or should we focus on online marketing firstly?
First thing, online marketing. So like Facebook or Instagram, because I mean, youth or younger people are always on that. Look on that. Yeah.
But
that is
So they find it better than this thing, billboards or newspaper ads or anything.
yeah.
I think that's where I think this is more of an household thing, right?
Yeah.
So I think offline would be a better.
Um,
So offline is better because both, I think both are equally important. Online is because online, as you told, bachelors are one of our prime market. So
Yeah.
they don't get a newspaper subscription or magazines. They only go for online,
Okay.
for like YouTube, Instagram, and for
Okay.
household they get magazines and newspapers. So for them, this offline is better.
So like if you talk about online
Mm.
marketing, right? Have you ever
Yes.
seen a household product that is online marketed like on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube?
Mm. Instagram, I've seen like this bottles. I've seen or like container bottle or even like
Yep.
so electronics.
Electronics is something?
Yeah, yeah. But bottles I've seen Tupperware or something like that. In India, I used to see.
Okay. I think the market has changed. We're talking about America.
Even like in Facebook, there's a Tupperware page.
Okay.
Facebook and Instagram are like, you have to. I feel like,
Yeah, that is definitely you have to think, right?
But
But
yeah.
what is like can you talk about a product that household product that was last seen on an Instagram? Like not
So
I'm not talking about something you follow, right? I'm talking about something
yeah,
which was actually popped up in your feed.
so the thing with that is like, um, Facebook and Instagram, they have their. I don't see it because I'm not the right demographic, right? They might send, but I do see earphones, earbuds, and all of that, right? So Facebook and Instagram are very smart in that manner. They will identify the right population and target it accordingly, and if
and
a
plus, like they think like this, when you talk about something conversations or you search on that thing, they take our cookies also.
yep.
So
No,
mostly
I
our age people are looking for computer, earphone, headphones. That's why they always pop up like these things.
Yeah. But if people like us
But
start looking
like,
at watches and stuff.
aren't we the customers who actually gonna wanna buy? Uh, aren't we the customers who actually wanna buy this container?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not sure. Like, aren't we like because we're
Aren't we
target,
the customers?
we are right?
Yeah. So how
Yeah.
would Facebook read to us?
So like initial because that's what we'll specify, right? Because like not like
I understand that you would say you would set your limits like late 20s to early 30s,
Yeah,
or
that is.
yeah, you
yep,
would
Just
say
pay to
like,
promote.
yeah, you would say that who's single, or maybe you would say like he stays somewhere in downtown,
yep.
or in the very metropolis city or something like that. But how would exactly Facebook target you or Instagram target you, right? Because you aren't searching a food container on your Facebook or Instagram.
They still like if you do advertisement, they still show your product.
To
Like
be very honest with you, I haven't seen a Instagram product. Like, to be very honest with you, I haven't seen a what do you call that, Instagram ad on my water bottles. Maybe I haven't
because
seen an
not
Instagram ad of any cooking thing,
because
or
it's not been we can try this out, try searching for bottles in Google, right?
okay.
And then we will see I'm not saying we should do it or we
Yeah,
shouldn't do
yeah,
it,
I totally get it. So
but we can search on Google and let's see for next 5 days are we getting any advertisement of bottles or anything related to that, right? I got an advertisement of bottle on Facebook
okay,
once because
I
I purposely went in and Google and I was searching bottles, right?
okay,
So I got an ad for that. We can try and test it out. I'm sure it works that way.
okay.
Yeah, so
I
whatever you search, it comes to cookies.
Yeah, like I don't know, because to me I get a food suggestions majorly like Chobani or something like that, but I never get this what is containers, because I do buy it like I actually go in person to retail store and buy it right from Target or something like that. Okay, but let's say like, so for online marketing we aren't much into Facebook and Instagram is the only thing, and we can put a stop on that, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. I think that's enough. And Google.
So,
Google
Google
dominant.
Ads.
Google Ads is
I think
dominant.
so. Wouldn't that be pretty much generic?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is generic. That's true. We'll have to like this is one of those places where you have to test out, right? Like
Yeah.
whether Google is working or whether Facebook is working for us, whether Instagram is working for us, but we'll have to keep all options open.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
So let's talk about offline marketing then. So
Yep.
if everything is same, then
Yep. So have you heard of affiliate marketing?
nah.
It is a type of marketing in which you as a company team up with influencers like YouTube and tell YouTube someone. So let's say
Oh, influencer marketing. Yeah.
Influencer marketing.
that is
Yeah.
known
Yeah.
as marketing. So
Okay.
let's say we'll identify channels that are working in cooking, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And promote our product in those channels in YouTube through YouTube, like through those by sponsoring their videos and stuff like that. So that is affiliate marketing. Maybe that could help us as well. There are different kinds of affiliate marketers. Uh, One is YouTube, of course, like YouTube channels. Uh, there are people who write blog posts and stuff. They write they write recipes and stuff on websites, so you can collaborate
I
with them to.
think I think
Yeah.
even Amazon review is something that matters, right?
Sure.
Yep.
So how do you Amazon reviews?
And
Um,
it's the customers who give the reviews on Amazon.
No, I think they have what do you call it as uh
you can do this thing. You can give out your product for free, right? And then
that
like
is a
initially,
very start stage, right?
yeah, yeah.
I think
And
everyone
but
does that.
then tell them to write Amazon reviews based
Yeah,
honest
yeah.
reviews.
Honest reviews, right? I think Amazon does that, but there are some product reviewers
Oh, okay.
on Amazon or something like that. I just like haven't like. So let's. I think so. It would be pretty much generic for that. So let's talk about offline marketing then. How would you like create a brand awareness offline? Like I understand flyers, newspapers, or something like this and that, but how would you actually do that?
Offline is tricky in times of COVID.
I don't. I think I think in times of COVID, offline is way much more easier, right? If you go for newspapers, flyers, or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
newspaper.
because
Uh,
also because it's easier. Everyone has at home, so one newspaper would actually go into marketing of four people or four or five people. Though
yep, yep,
no one reads newspapers in these days.
yep.
Yeah.
No, makes sense. Newspaper is one of the good because I think the pack of three and pack of three different, as you said,
Mm.
it's for families, and families still read newspaper and
Yeah,
stuff.
or
Yeah,
maybe
everyone
flyers.
is newspaper.
Yeah, even flyers. I think that's good idea.
Correct.
But so are we saying that we don't have any channels of offline marketing other than newspapers and flyers?
I think
Billboards.
billboards, yeah, but no one is driving
No one
now.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
Think,
Oh,
I mean, they have
also,
been the most. They have been their newspapers and they have been their magazines have been there for a long
a
time.
long
And
time, yeah.
standard for advertising. Yeah, or we can do something like what Tupperware is doing, right? Like multi-level marketing scheme and stuff. But that's
yep.
very
That's,
dangerous.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
very
think
dangerous.
that's very much scammed approach.
That's not legal also.
I think that's a strange thing that Amway does it at present.
Yeah, but they are
Uh,
doing it nicely. Like if you do it in a nice manner, it's fine. But the way this Herbalife and all of them are doing is very bad. Yeah, it's
I don't know, like, I don't know if you've been scammed, like if you've been reached out by someone on
I,
LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, I reached a lot of
You will
times.
reach out
Someone like,
by LinkedIn, yeah,
hmm.
and they ask you very interesting question. Are you interested in creating a supplemental income being a student
I
in
know,
these difficult
I
times?
know.
And I'm like, whoa.
They keep doing. I've gotten so many. I've gotten 15 to 20 people like that who have
Yeah.
reached
And
out.
plus, legally on F1, we can't even earn
Yeah, and
it
they are
without
like,
often
yeah,
on
and they are
campus.
like, even if you earn, so they are like, even if your account says that you have 2000 grand, like 200 or something, 2000 grand, you won't be getting it all of a sudden because you are on a student visa. So it will be releasing around $200 a week or something like that, so that you don't have any problems. And I'm like, okay, guy, it's more like a
It's
scam
a
to it,
yeah, it's a
and still
scam.
is fun.
Yeah, crazy they are.
So like, okay, so like
Let's not
offline
do
marketing.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so offline marketing,
I think
We can put posters
yeah,
but where
posters.
would you put posters?
outside some like commercial buildings.
For now, for initial launch, I think newspaper and magazines is fine.
Okay.
Uh, because
I
or maybe
I think
broadcast.
you should be promoting a product in a school.
Yep. But
Yeah.
schools are also
Closed
No,
now,
no, I totally get that schools are closed, but
but not in normal circumstances.
also in normal, also like would be so, or maybe with teachers or something like that. With the school, the best thing would be the mothers would be aware of it. I think what what a female population does with marketing is something very much great. Word of mouth is very good with them, to them.
Hmm. Yeah. So if your product is good, word of mouth market will be good, so others will try. Word of
Yeah,
mouth is the biggest, market here for any product.
yeah. So I think targeting teachers in schools for offline
teachers
marketing.
or professors both.
Professor would be in a like
I mean,
You
it should be in university, right? So they won't
18
be.
plus.
we shouldn't be very gender specific. That's what I mean. Like it should be
I'm like teachers into me. I meant till like the professors or teachers who are actually teaching uh,
in.
till 12th,
Oh, okay, yeah,
like till
Okay.
higher school, right?
makes sense.
So maybe school teachers and professors. I'm not suggesting someone in the universities.
Yep. No, makes sense.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. You have any other mediums of it, or should we focus? Should we go to the next product?
We can get creative and stuff, but this is fine. I think newspaper and magazine would be the main one
Yeah.
anyway.
But
Yeah.
so like it's very much astonishing that we even in during like we haven't figured out any other way of
people
my
do crazy people do crazy kinds of things, right? Like they go in schools and they put like this table where you can try the product out. They pitch your product, like have you seen were you there in like the first semester of a college?
yeah
uh,
Yeah.
this there are these companies who are selling LED lights and stuff like that. Do you
yeah.
remember? So
Right, I remember.
yeah, that people do that kind of things as well,
But that's in like normal circumstances when everything's okay.
you know.
Not now.
Yeah, yeah,
So for this only we just need one thing, right?
yeah. I mean,
Self.
you can sell it in sell. You can sell it in pack of.
No, I think this would be only sold in packs, right?
Okay. Or maybe wait. Why would we only sell it in packs? Wouldn't anyone want to buy it like
I
from
don't think so.
drive through as well?
I didn't get that.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah.
I think sorry guys. Oh, I'm like messing it up.
Delete. Control,
Sorry.
Control A, delete.
Uh, okay, self-chilling cans. This won't
Either
be an individual thing, right? For self-chilling.
um, what do you
The
think?
Yeah, it would be
bulk of six.
pack of six or like 24. How do you exactly get it? How do you exactly buy a soda? So
Yeah. 6 or 24.
pack of six,
So because we
12,
are targeting it
24.
for just partying and stuff, pack of you would need a pack of six and
Yeah,
A pack of 24 for larger parties.
yeah. So I think that's what the multiple is like. Pack of 6, 12, 18,
Yeah.
24 or something like that. 48. I think I recently saw a size of Coke of 48 size.
Yeah. So more the size, cheaper it is.
Yeah.
yeah.
So the price would be pretty much same. Or you want to keep it higher? I think it should be higher.
We can't see your screen, I guess. Can you scroll down?
I can.
You can see a screen. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
So you want to, so the price should be higher than the normal cans, right? Because you're saying them on electricity and storage.
Yeah.
So how
Yep.
much should it be higher?
I don't know.
Not much higher, like around 10% higher, 10-15%.
Yeah.
If it's too high, then they won't buy it.
Yeah.
It's like a mood of like, why should I buy it? Same.
Yeah, 10%. But isn't convenience a factor here?
I think so. The 10% higher is just for the convenience, like
Correct.
not for the electricity because they are not going to turn off their fridge. You know,
Hmm.
But
it's
yeah,
just
they can significantly
And,
save on that. But I think the whole supply
but
chain saves on the energy requirement.
and yeah,
yeah. So the 10% higher is for convenience. I think.
because if too high, then consumer won't calculate this thing like how much electricity they will save. That's too much. I mean, theoretical calculation. So this thing is like normal 10% is okay.
What I suppose is so the production would be normal. You don't need a so I think the production is still normal, but the wholesaler
Yeah.
doesn't need to keep it refrigerated, right? Uh, the trucks that delivers doesn't need refrigeration,
Yep.
right?
Yep. No, that's
Yes.
And the retailer doesn't need refrigeration, and all
Hmm.
we too don't need a refrigeration.
yeah. So production cost would
Yes.
be lower. Yeah, that's
Low.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, so those are like is 10% signif is does 10% like
Even transportation medium will be changed. Like some were like something we need this thing. What is the refrigerated trucks won't be needed. Normal trucks can do.
Yeah, yeah. So
Hmm.
so look, our margins are anyway very high, right? Because we're reducing the
Yeah.
cost, we're increasing the price.
Okay.
Yeah. Cost
So
is
for
less. Even transportation cost is less in
so
this.
okay.
Yeah,
So, so let's
10% will
suppose
cover up.
production cost is B. I mean the
let's
price is B. So what do you think a production cost would be?
it would. Let's not. Okay, so we're talking in terms of conventional, right? Okay, we can also put like 10% lesser than conventional.
But
You know,
like we put our price as B. So like
would be
moving
let's say
moving
10%.
forward, what is our production cost?
It should be.
I think a regular Coke which costs about $1, right? A Coke dollar 99 cents or $1.25.
Yeah,
I don't know, like I think it's hardly 10 cents of production, 10 or 15 cents of production.
yeah. It's 50, 10, 50 cents max. But
10,
again,
10 0 or 5 0. I'm talking about 1 5.
10-0.
Like
I'm
1 0 or 5 0.
oh, I'm talking about 50, 50.
I don't think 50 is like 50% of production
Oh
No,
uh
yeah,
50% too much.
fee too much, right? I think
Yeah.
15 cents is way.
yeah. But then the thing is, they have like an amazing supply chain. They have so much
Yeah,
already.
I think we take an optimum condition where we also have that.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Then
So,
let's say 10 cents is fine then.
okay. So like it should be B by, so what is your production cost? It should be B by like 7.
Let's say B times 5%.
What B
B
times
into
5%?
5%. B into 5%. Whatever the price is, 5% of that is production cost. You know?
B
That's
into
it?
is 5%.
Yeah. Because that is what 1 cent, 10 cents would be, right? So it would be 10%. So into 10%
Yeah.
of, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Place, there is nothing as a place, right?
Uh, place. Wait, what
Which
was the price for the other one?
what?
There's
There's
no
nothing like
place.
another one. There is all places,
No,
right?
no, for the other one, for the other product, I mean.
This is was like online retail and
House,
wholesale and other things. Like this is all
household,
places. All
household.
places.
All
Okay.
places, all
All
retail
places.
and supermarket
And
outlets.
supermarkets.
All places, right?
Yes.
All retail and supermarket outlets. Just to be specific.
Arey, I'm getting. Who's your customer? Like people hosting the parties or people attending the parties?
Wait.
Hosting.
Hmm?
Yeah.
People hosting the parties because they only take care of this
Party
food and
hosts?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you,
Or maybe even customers would want to stock it up. I don't know.
I don't
Like,
think because the customer who just want to stock it up, they usually have one and drink it. It doesn't
um,
matter to them.
but no, no, but they would still like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Makes sense.
They
Yeah.
won't be our customer. They would be like additional, like second tier customers to us,
Hmm.
not primary. I think our primary customer would be the event people too.
Yeah. Yeah, even people, and that is party, right? Or
Yeah,
people
like
want to
not the
travel.
host, or maybe who's throwing an event, but who's like event coordinator or who's managing the event.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I think
Some,
Mugendra is not agreeing to us.
No, yes, agree.
So you wanna like event,
someone who travel, like, or tourism, travel and tourism customers,
yeah, or travelers or maybe wanderers. You wanna term as in this present world,
huh?
backpackers or travelers. I
Solo
think
backpackers.
solo backpackers, travelers. And how do you suggest promoting it?
Promoting.
Online, same online. That
uh,
won't go online thing. This thing we can like reduce on offline because offline, I mean, mostly people who are party are like this thing, young generation.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they don't read newspapers.
yeah, I totally get that.
Hmm.
But what about we host an event, right?
Hmm.
where we serve just the chilled like
Um, Wait, promotions you can do. You can collaborate with event managers, like event
Event companies.
yeah, if anyone who takes care of event logistics, right? We can partner with those people and uh, push for promoting this. Even in terms of like you can go for restaurants where
Hmm.
they where they handle parties, like where they provide a space for partying, right? like
Okay.
like like in India we have like
Banquet halls.
banquet halls, yes,
Yeah.
for thank you.
so we so we're
We
talking
have
about okay, just wait. So we're talking about offline marketing, right?
offline.
Offline. And even like you can partner with some caterers like who work, serve in the parties.
Yeah.
Because they would suggesting this thing, take this food.
Yep. Makes sense.
Can you just repeat?
Yeah,
Event
right.
event organizers.
So first
Yes,
was caterers and event organizers.
So we would be targeting event organizers or caterers.
Both.
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 Organizers are different, caterers are different. Yeah, organizers are like they can overall. I mean, organizers have a wider reach than caterers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think event organizer should be a better thing, right? Because they already have that caterers in their pockets, right?
Okay.
So if we convince event organizers, we convince 10, 5 or 10 at least caterers.
Okay, that's agree. And yeah, we can partner with some offices also. Like offices also stock up with their, I mean, food and beverages. So
Yep.
they're easy to for them. They can also stock this chilled cokes. I mean, chilled self-chilling cans.
Yeah, you can put that in the customers as well. Like
Okay.
this is the
Offices,
yeah,
workplaces.
workplaces out there. Yeah.
HR?
HR, yeah.
HR?
HR.
HR.
Yeah.
So
Simple.
office party host. Office HR.
Office HR, yeah.
Obviously.
I don't
Because
think, yeah,
many companies have stocked up food and beverages, but for normal days also.
A lot
yeah.
of it.
I think Wayfair has that, right?
Yeah, if that's that.
Wipro has a lot of it.
One of the very
But it's
basic
remote now.
one of the very basic reason why every student wants to work at a Wayfair is thirsty Thursdays, right? And unlimited amount of food on weekdays.
Food and snacks, yeah.
Yeah, they get one of the best foods in canteen, right?
Yep.
So I think this is enough at present, right?
Yes.
So let's sign off then.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So it
So
was
guys,
good meeting you all.
yeah, it was good meeting you all. And
We
if
had a productive session.
yeah. I think if possible, we'll tomorrow meet for business model innovation, where we exactly talk about uh, the following topics here, like how exactly can we solve these problems if possible, or we can talk about an industry who's struggling at present and how should they innovate their business model. Uh,
Okay.
so let's meet at 12 tomorrow, right? Because
Okay.
that's the usual time we stream. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Press the bell icon.
Okay. See you.
Okay, guys. Have a nice weekend ahead. Bye.
Bye bye.